During basic training, we showed you how to create a service request without really going into any details. In this training video, we're going to revisit the same service request, and this time we will explain everything except for the service providers panel. The service providers panel will be tackled in the next training video. To get started, we will find the service request that we created during basic training and click on the pencil icon to update it. The scheduling notes are the things that the requester wants the scheduler to know when working on this service request, such as whether or not the request should be a recurring request. The internal notes are additional information pertaining to the service request. These notes are not visible to anyone but office staff. We can toggle between any of the 5 colored flags on and off. These flags have no meaning to USCED and are provided for our convenience only. These flags are displayed in various views and reports. Now let's switch over to the Service Date and Time tab. The time zone here is important. This should be the time zone of the location the client expects to receive the services. If the service provider lives in a different time zone, USCED will make the proper adjustments to ensure that the service provider shows up at the correct time. Let's switch over to the Location tab. There are 3 things that USCED will remember for each group member so that they can be reused over multiple service requests. Those 3 things are locations, points of contact, and file attachments. Here, we have the option to either edit the currently selected location or to create a new one. Keep in mind that if we edit the currently selected location, this will affect every service request that has that same location selected. Let's take a quick look at what editing a location looks like. As you can see, the location information is pretty standard. We have a label, a bunch of address fields, and finally some public and internal notes. The notes field is used mostly to communicate important information about this location to the service providers, such as parking limitations, public transit information, and so on. Let's back out of the location and switch over to the Points of Contact tab. This is the second of the 3 things that USCED will remember for each group member. A point of contact is any person that people should contact for more information or for access at a location. Just like with locations, we have the option to either edit the currently selected point of contact or create a new one. If we edit the currently selected point of contact, any changes will also affect all service requests that have the same point of contact selected. Let's see what editing a point of contact looks like. Here we have the name of the point of contact and any notes to be associated with that individual. The rest of the tabs hold the contact information for this point of contact, such as the email address, phone numbers, and instant messenger accounts. Let's back out of this point of contact and switch over to the Clients tab. The Open to the Public option controls whether or not the service request is publicly visible to all group members of this group, as well as to all subgroups of this group. At the bottom, we have the list of clients that will be receiving services. We can also create and update group members here as well. The process of creating and updating group members is described in another training video. Now let's switch to the Preferred Service Providers tab. This is the list of service providers that we want to have priority over all other service providers. We can add any number of service providers to this list. The next tab, which is the Do Not Send Service Providers tab, works the same way, except that these are service providers which, for whatever reason, we do not want to assign to this service request. The final tab is the File Attachments tab. This is the third of the three things that USCED will remember for each group member. A file attachment is any document that the client wants to share with the service provider, perhaps to help the service provider prepare for the assignment. Clicking on the Add a File Attachment adds a new file attachment slot to this service request. Now that we have a new file attachment slot, we can select any file attachment that this group member has used in previous requests, or create a new one. Since we don't have any file attachments for this individual yet, we are going to click on the Create New button. There are only two things that we need to do here. The first thing we need to do is to give this file attachment a name. Now we need to select a file that is on our computer and upload it. We are done with updating this file attachment, so let's save on the Save Changes button. USCED has just saved the file attachment to the database, and it has automatically been selected into the file attachment slot. At this point, we have made all of our changes to this service request, and it is time to update USCED by pressing on the Save Changes button. We have just done a deep dive into the finer details of creating and updating a service request.